Yo, what's good, everybody? Today is May the 26th, 2026. Most gracious and Heavenly Father, we ask you, God, that you would bless our conversation. We thank you for allowing us to see it yet another day. We ask you, God, that we would take away from this episode just joyous occasions and be educated on certain things and just have a good time as usual. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Yo, again, what's good, everybody? Y'all come on in. I didn't do a pre-show announcement today, but I do know that the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I kind of wanted to take this last Tuesday to give you guys, talk about mental health a little bit. Um, but as usual, when we start out, I want to give some born day shout outs. I want to say happy born day to both of my nieces who celebrated over the weekend. Um, Zoe Wilson and Miss Malaya Carr, who shared the same birthday. My aunt Danny Brown, May 23rd as well, and my oldest son DeAndre. Happy born day to all you guys. Then yesterday, my little sis, she celebrated. Taisha Edwards, love you girl. Happy born day to her. Wanda Thomas, uh, Ebony Coley. So happy born day to all you guys and everybody that celebrated over the this past week. As well as all the graduates. Congratulations to you all. It's been pulling a lot of traction. One of the ones that I posted from Tennessee with a graduation, they was literally outdoors in a monsoon, which was absolutely ridiculous. Um, but yeah, I don't have anybody on tonight as far as guests. Like I said, I wanted to discuss some mental health awareness things and give you guys some tips as it pertains to mental health. Um, And as you guys come in, please feel free to join in the comments because, like I said, I don't have anybody on with me tonight as far as being on screen. So your comments and questions will be gladly appreciated. We could get to those. Um, this helped me be a part of the show. But like I said, this being mental health awareness, I think that we're living in a day and age where um, is I'm glad that people are taking more time out for themselves and their mental health. But we also, at the same time, we can't let that what's the word? Hey, what's good, Jew? Um, think a lot of people use certain things as crutches in the day and age that we live in, but mental health is definitely a real thing, and we got to be careful of how we treat it as such and write people off when we don't understand what they're going through, um, which is one of the reasons you see a lot of times in all these different posts and whatnot. It's something that I've been saying for years. But check on your strong friends, check on your strong people, the people that you think um, are strong. They don't have any cares in the world. We talked about it on this show several times. Um, I'm comfortable with bringing it up. I just don't try to glorify it. But I'm a suicide attempt survivor on more than one occasion. And people that know me um, on a personal level, they would always like, I never would thought that you would be in that situation. And no one thinks that they will be in that situation. And again, I always, when I talk about it, it's like, I knew that I was loved. I knew it wasn't that I didn't have anyone to talk to. I just chose not to go those options. So you just never know the mental state that someone is in or what they're going through. Um, like feelings are real. That's one thing I truly understand that feelings are real. Whether you understand them or you think somebody crazy or you think they tripping or not, if it's really that person, that's exactly what it is. I always associated with like bulimia. Um, you know, these people, this person might be 120 pounds, but when they look in the mirror, if they see somebody that's 250 pounds, it doesn't matter what we see. To them, that's a real thing, and it needs to be taken care of. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go over a couple of mental health tips, um, share a couple of tips with you guys, and you guys let me know what you think about them, how you feel about mental health. Are you in a good place? Do you have people to talk to? Do you have a community? Do you have a circle? Do you have just a support system in general? And what are some of the things that you do? You guys put it in the comments. What are some of the things that you do to keep your mental health sharp, so that you don't go into that lowly bar place or that the place of depression? Give me some of your tips as well as I share some of these tips. Um, but let's get into it. So the first one is it says write down 3 specific self care goals for the month and post them where you'll see them. I like that one because sometimes that's what you need. You need reinforcement, and it's good, like you said, to post it somewhere where you'll see it, whether it be in the bathroom mirror, on your dresser, on your nightstand, wherever the case may be, somewhere that you'll be able to always go back and just to give yourself a reminder when even when you're not even thinking about it. It's always good to be sharp like that there, but right down you think about it. Just get you 3 specific self-care goals for that month, and start with that. Number 2 is spend some time in nature today, whether it's taking a walk, smelling the flowers, or sitting by a tree. Nature can make you feel calmer. um Absolutely, I agree with that 1,000% too. Because it's just something about, even when I would go for walks, um and I really need to get back into it. But it's something about that sun, especially us for us melanin folk. It's always good to be in contact with that sun and get that vitamin D and everything else. Um, and it's just amazing what fresh air actually does. It's different when you being cooped up in a vehicle or a house all day. Fresh air, it's amazing the feeling that it get, even if it's just the breeze as you're walking or jogging or whatever it is that you're doing. So let's not take that for granted. Nature is definitely a part of the process. 3, checking on your mental health. Take mental health tests at MH. Let me type that in up here, see if you guys can see it. There's a free screening where you could do a mental health screening for free, no charge, and it'll help you track or go about the ways that you could take care of yourself. Can you guys see that comment? Let me post it. There you go. Yeah, that's the place that you get in, and it says take a mental health test at mhascreening.org. It's free, anonymous, and confidential. So you don't have to worry about your business being put out there. But yeah, definitely check that out. Um, 4, try sharing your mental health story on social media or with close friends. This brave act can help reduce stigma in your community. Um, and I think that's a very good one as well, because a lot of times what we do is in church and in ministry, we learn, it says that we are overcome by the words of our testimony. And I think that that's very powerful, because a lot of times when we do share our different testimonies, we do share what we're going through, even in real time. Um, what it does is it encourages other people, because some people might be going through something even worse, or they might be thinking that they're going through something, and they hear what you're going through, and they're like, "Oh man, what am I really tripping about?" So it's about reinforcing one another and keeping one another lifted in prayer, and supporting one another through the good, through the bad. You just never know. But there's always somebody out there that you could contact. There's always somebody you could talk to. No one is truly alone. Even when you call like I said, that website that I put up there is anonymous, it's confidential, but don't say you don't have anybody to reach out to. There are resources out there. There are people out there. I always say it on my show. Um, I'm always available. You guys are free. Feel free to hit me on Messenger. Um, if you have my number, you can text me. You can call me anytime. I'm always answer my phone. Just to chop it up, or you could reach out on leave a comment saying that you need to get in contact with me, and I'll definitely get back to you. Um, but it's important that we use the resources that we have, because sometimes talking it out. I learned that over the years because I was one of those ones that would keep my feelings inside. I didn't really talk about things that important things, so to speak. I would keep everything on the surface. Um, but once I got to a place where I felt comfortable enough to be vulnerable enough to be open and honest about what it was that I was going through or how I felt about my emotions, um, it is something that is truly freeing about sharing your story or just getting it out of your system. Yeah, what's good, Sam? Um, it is so much. I couldn't believe how simple it was, but how much better I felt when I began to actually share my innermost thoughts and feelings and things that I was going through, and to say them out loud to somebody. And one thing that I've always lived by too. Sometimes um, the best friend that you could ever have is a stranger. You know, um, because when you're talking to a stranger, they don't have any bias. They don't have any they're not picking sides. They're not, you know what I mean? It's just somebody genuinely listening to somebody that they don't know. And it's not about caring, listening to people that care about you and the things of that nature there. But sometimes you feel more free with somebody, a stranger, or somebody that you're not familiar with. So you can communicate with them because a lot of times what we do is when we have people that are in our inner circles and we're talking to them about things that really matter, it's like, well, I don't want them to think about me that this way. Or if you're talking about a relationship, I don't want them to view the other person this way or that way. So a lot of times, take advantage of those strangers and different people. Um, there's different resources that are out there. Again, let me put that on the screen too. Like I said, you can get your mental health awareness screening done at this website here for free, anonymous, and it's confidential. But take advantage of that. Um, we'll do a few more. Um, Number 5, our physical health is linked to our mental health. Find some time to move your body today in whatever way you feel right for you. Um, that's good too because a lot of times I notice with a lot of people that when you hear it, sometimes you can hear it in people's voices. I'm doing okay, and but you could tell they kind of depressed or going through something or at a low moment in their life or whatever the case may be. But you talk to them, what you doing? Man, I'm just sitting here on the couch, uh, sitting in dark rooms, and you always want to keep the lights out or whatnot. Get up and move around. You know, walk your stairs, go into your backyard, go sit on your back porch. Go to your car for no reason or whatever the case may be. Walk to the corner and walk back. But definitely get you some exercise in. You don't have to be going to the gym and all that there. That helps too. Because that's one of them things that I miss too. I could do it mentally, I just can't do it physically anymore. But I definitely miss going to the gym at times because it would be crazy how I would go work out maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, man, I'm ready to take on the whole day after I finish doing a session. Getting an hour workout in. It was amazing what it did for my body physically and what it did for my mental. Like my mental days were totally different because I had already worked out. I already did. I was like, even if like the army used to say, even if I do nothing else today, I already did more before 5 a.m. than most people do all day. So it was a refreshing feeling. And I might really consider doing that again. Because it's very important. Well, with my work schedule is kind of difficult being that I work overnight. But yeah, definitely work out. Um, be mobile. Be mobile. It's good to just get the blood flowing sometimes and things of that nature there. That has an impact on your mental as well. Um, let's see. Number 6, take some time today to distress and unwind. Do a hobby you enjoy or try a new one if you don't have a go-to hobby. Um, yeah, do something that you like, whether it be planting, whether it be gardening, whether it be doing puzzles. Um, I would try not to do nothing as far as like social media. I know that it was somewhere on there too talking about social media and different things of that nature. There, you don't want to get caught up in that trap either. Um, which is one reason it took me so long to actually get a computer when things came out. And it's like even when I did finally get on the computer, it took me forever to get on YouTube because it's like that trap. You go on to YouTube to look for one thing, and the next thing you know is 2-3 hours later, and you've been sitting on YouTube going from video to video. And I ain't gonna really get into too deep into that, but I always try to tell people, when it comes to the enemy, he's the prince of the airwaves, and that's the one successful way. Like when we get caught up on all these apps, and we're doing all of this here, and we're doing all of that there, playing our games on our phones, and it always amazes me how much I hear people say, I don't know, I don't really be on my phone that much. I don't really be on my phone that much. But if you looked at, hey, what's good? Thanks for tuning in Open Train of Thought podcast. Um, you know, if I know when my phone, it has a thing where it will let me know every Sunday exactly how long I was on my phone. Each and every day, it gives me the whole chart, the whole readout, and everything else. So it's like when you put that on your phone, or when you have that app, or that whatever it is like, okay, now what'd you say? How often you not on the phone? And it's telling you daily how much you actually on your phone, how much you're on YouTube, how much you're on Facebook, how much you're on TikTok, all these different things there. Because it seems like that's the rabbit hole. And the point I was making was, when we're doing all those things, that's less time that we're actually reading the book. That's actually less time that we're working on our spiritual man, or developing our spiritual relationship with our higher power, or our higher being, whatever it is that you believe in, God Almighty, whatever you believe in. That's less time. The more time we're doing these type of things, the less time that we have focusing on that. So I'm not being judgmental or whatever. I'm just putting it out there for you to think about. Because one thing I always try to say, even when I'm talking about working out, I always say, depending on what faith you're of and what you believe, but we're living to live again. And it's good to take care of these physical bodies, but always pondered and thought, like, what's the point of taking care of this body that I might have for 90 to 100 years, but I know it's going to die, but I know that my spirit man is going to live forever. And I think a lot of times we don't take that into consideration, and we're not worried about developing our spiritual person for eternity, um, which makes no sense to me. But I think just want to bring awareness to that. Work on your spiritual development, and you work on your relationship spiritually with your higher power. I think that's very pivotal. And we'll do like maybe two more and get up out of here. It says number 7, practice good sleep habits. Resist the urge to zone out on social media or watch TV, and make your room cool, dark, and quiet. Aim for 8 hours of sleep. I didn't even know that was up here, and I was just talking about that a little while ago. I think that's very important, because like a lot of times, I remember when I was going through a deep depression at the time. A lot of times I was thinking about it. I say, man, people. My ex-wife at the time, she would just walk in the room like, why you got it so dark in here? I just love the dark. I don't know why. I just love the dark. But I didn't realize the mental impact that it was having on me as well. I'm just thinking, the sunlight hurt my eyes, and when the things are too bright, too much light, excessive light bothers my eyes. So I just wanted to be in darker places. But I didn't realize that it was having a impact on my mental as well. So you got to be conscious of that also. Um, I don't know about the 8 hours of sleep. I definitely do better with that. I think 8 hours of sleep is too much for me though, because I know that's what they say, but whatever. I can't imagine 8 hours of sleep. That's just that much less time that I'm not actually doing something. Um, but sleep is definitely necessary. Uh, Number 8, create a calm space in your home. Include things that help you relax, like your favorite blanket or your book. Use this space when you need time to yourself. That's another good one too. I remember years ago, we had decided that we wouldn't put a TV in our room, or it was decided that we wouldn't have a TV in the room, and the TV would just be for that quiet place. Um, and it was amazing. It was amazing to me how the effect that it had. You know what I mean? I was really shocked, because I'm a TV person, especially back then. I was definitely in the TV and my series and all that there. It's like I got to go in the living room to watch television. But when I'm in the room, it's like, you know what? Do I really want to go out there, or do I would just want to sit here, peaceful, calm, listen to some jazz and whatnot, or and just read a book, or just think. Sometimes sitting and just thinking about things and evaluating things and whatnot. That's a very powerful help too when it comes to working on your mental health or whatever the case may be. And you guys, like I said, if you guys have any tips for people that might be viewing or view this later, feel free to put them in the comments. We'll do like two more, and then we'll move on. Number 9, take time to reflect on causes you care about. Think of one way you can support these causes, whether it is with your time, donation, etc. Um, that's a very interesting one too. I was looking through my Facebook memories not too long ago, and I had did a piece a couple of years ago, and I really got to. I'm thinking about putting that into a book form when I was doing my daily devotionals or whatnot. Give you a quick little scripture and a story for the day, and how much it was blessing people. I have so many people that reach out to me and ask me, you know, when I was out going to start doing it again or what have you. And it's like I was doing it just as long as I felt led of the Lord to do it, and I stopped when I felt like it was that time had run its course. But a lot of people were saying that it was helpful and it meant something. I might revalue that, or like I said, think about putting them in book form, so you guys could actually have something with you. I've been thinking about that and talking about that with different people. But one of the ones, excuse me, that just came up in my memories recently, it was talking about how with how tithing didn't just pertain to your finances or your money. You could donate your time. You could donate, you know what I mean? You might not physically have enough cash to donate, but there are enough places in your local area, your local community, where you could go volunteer, and you'd be surprised the joy that it'll get out of you, that you'll get out of it, um, and the effect that it'll have on different people. I remember when my sons were younger, one of the things that we used to do on Christmas was before you go open up any gifts, we're gonna go down to the South. We used to go to the Salvation Army, or one of the shelters down there, and we had to, we helped feed the people that was less fortunate, some of the homeless people or whatever the case may be, and it was such a joy. Like you couldn't put a price on money, the joy that you got from it. And it was like, the boys, they were, even though they were kids and they were excited about Christmas morning, they weren't never, oh man, can we hurry up and leave so we can go over present? They really got caught up into it. And I thank God for that opportunity as a parent, you know what I mean, just to instill something like that to them. Um, I remember the first time my boys ever seen me stop at a fast food restaurant and get a meal just for this homeless person that was sitting out on the corner. And I got out, stopped, the light turned red, and I jumped out and gave him the meal. And my boys, I'm looking at them in the rearview mirror. They were young, and they looking like, "What daddy do that for?" Like, I ain't never seen that side of them, but it's a lasting effect on them because I see that they give, and they take care of homeless people. They volunteer different things of that nature there on their own. So it's just one of those things is positive in not just our lives, but also the lives of our children and people that are watching. I'm quite sure, even when at the hospital, I talked about this briefly on previous episodes, but when I used to work at the hospital, it used to baffle me. It literally baffled me, and it's heartbreaking how many people would literally drop their parents off at the hospital, knowing that they're never coming back to get them. Um, that I didn't even know that was a thing until I actually worked in the healthcare industry, and it is sad how many people really get treated like that. It's almost like when we were younger, you used to see the movies where somebody would have a child, they didn't want to abort the baby, so what they would do is they would have the child, and then you put the baby in a bassinet and you drop it off at the fire station. That was like your way of making sure that the baby will finally get proper taken care of, or you hope, or whatever the case may be. You just wasn't. in a mental state or whatever the case may be, or didn't want the child, or however, whatever your reasoning were. But it was like to see people doing that same thing with the elderly and their parents, and their aunts and uncles that taking care of them all their lives, doing this in the hospitals. It was like mind-boggling. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes on a regular basis, I would have never known that was a thing. So you could always go to the hospital. I got to the point where I was at the hospital 7 days a week because even on my off days, I would meet different patients and I would just go spend time with them. 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Because that's one thing about older people. A lot of times, all they really want is somebody to talk to. Um, so there's other ways that you could give other than just finance. That's the point that I was making. So look into that in your local areas. And the last one we'll do, let's see. Uh, mm, okay, let's do with that one. Number 10. Spend 10 minutes doing a journaling exercise. Write down whatever it is on your mind, and notice how you feel when you finish. Now, I definitely couldn't agree with that one more. I've been procrastinating, and I really got to stop taking time for granted, as I always say each week. And I got to start writing again. I know everybody isn't like that, but writing for me, it was so freeing. Um, I actually like writing better than I like actually talking. That was one of the things that blew my mind too when starting the show and everything else, because or doing a live show rather, because I like the authenticity of doing things live. And I know that it could be structured better. You get a better thing when it's written and pre-recorded or whatnot. But I like to see how people interact off the top of their head. But I know me personally, I read some of the things that I wrote, and I can't believe that I wrote them. like, man, that's really good, man. Like, but it's like it's always amazing when you could look back and I wonder what mental state you were in. I would go through some of my old notes, and I would literally write them like a paper up in my top corner. I would have the date, how I was feeling at the particular time, what was my mood when I wrote this particular thing, whether I was down, whether I was happy, whether I was sad, whether I was in pain, whatever the case may be, the highs and lows. So just so I could kind of, because that's one thing about music, that's one thing about singing, that's one thing about writing. It's hard to recapture um, the essence of a moment. The essence of a moment. That's why I'm so big on. I'm trying to get us to get back to like the '90s, before we had social media, before we had these cell phones, before we had everything that we have now. It's like when you go to these different concerts, when you go to different shows, if you go to a play, or if you just go to a birthday party, let's stop being so quick to grab our cameras and record and everything. It drives me crazy to go to a church service and you see 50 phones over here in the musician section because everybody recording and oh doc and all this is like everything is so performative now. But I genuinely miss the days where you had to be there. You know what I mean? And we lived in the moment. Like those memories are that much more vibrant now and as at an older age because it's like, man, I remember the time going to King College to see the Fugees and KRS-One and King College there in Jersey in this gym, and I swear when KRS did one of the, I think it was the Bridge is Over. I want to say it was the Bridge is Over. Man, it felt like everybody. First of all, the floor was shaking, but it felt like everybody was in there just jumping so high. Everybody could have dunked that night. I don't care whether you was 4'11", I don't care whether you was 6'3", whatever. Everybody was jumping so high, you know what I mean? But it was one of those moments that I vividly remember all these years later. Um, I remember that last time the Knicks was in the finals. Yeah, we gonna get to my Knicks, man. We gonna get to my Knicks. Don't be coming over here with your little jokes, man, because we got because Detroit up out of there. uh, but yeah, man. Like I said, this was the last Tuesday of Mental Health Awareness Month. I definitely wanted to get some of those things out there. because we got to do better at taking care of our mental health and do better at just checking on one another. You know what I mean? A lot of times, some people they ain't even got to say nothing. You can see like, hey, it's something off about Sam, or it's something off about Drew, or something off about Marv, man. Let me check in on him. You know what I mean? Whether he opens up or he talks to me or not, that's one different thing. But just letting the people know that you're there for them, I think that's very important, an important aspect of mental health and taking care of our mental health as well. Just reminding people that you are there for them if they ever need you or need someone to talk to. Um, but with that being said, Sam is doing his Open Train of Thought podcast on Wednesday night. Please check that out. Go to the channel and support it. Matter of fact, so y'all can see the page. Go to this page on YouTube. You can subscribe to that as well. Nemesis. I wanted to talk about a little bit about that. I don't know. Well, I ain't gonna talk about it, but please watch that out. Watch that show. It's out on Netflix. I thought it was pretty good. I'm gonna get a couple of people on and we'll talk about it. But I seen on Facebook a lot of people have been checking it out and been was thoroughly pleased by it. I'll put it that way. I don't want to give too much away, but Nemesis is definitely a good watch on Netflix, and we'll review that maybe in a week or two on the show. But definitely check it out, so y'all can be a part of that conversation as well. Then, like Sam said, last night, and I'm one of those people. I'm a Knicks fan through and through. But I done seen this movie before. It's been too long between us actually going to the finals. It's definitely been too long since the Knicks has actually won the finals. They haven't even won in my lifetime. I wasn't even alive the last time the Knicks won the championship. So going to the finals, making it to the finals is definitely a success, but it's not impressive to me. I've been saying it and I've been posting it. We need 4 more wins. Each win, I'm just counting down. We need 4 more wins. And a lot of people out there, well, doesn't matter who wins the West. The West is definitely taking it. Here's my take. I'm just going on the record before the finals even start, before we even find out who we gonna be facing, because we sitting in the drop seat right now. We just sitting back chilling, waiting. I will say this, and this is not everybody that know me. Again, you guys know I'm a realist before I'm a fan. Let's be clear on that. I legitimately like the chances of the Knicks winning a championship this year. And here's why. I think that this OKC and San Antonio series is going to be so physical that I'm not sure how much they're going to have physically left when they get whoever it is, whichever team gets to the finals. I like the Knicks' chances of winning it all. I've never seen the Knicks as a team, as a unit, so locked in. They playing good on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. The bench is coming through the step, and that's the key reason last year. Like, I think last year we should have been in the finals as well. And no disrespect to Tom Thibodeau, but I never liked Tom Thibodeau as a coach. And this right here is pretty much showing you the difference. Like, it doesn't make no sense to have all these players and you running your players into the ground. You know what I mean? Use those benches, give them breathers. And we're seeing the difference that make actually using up multiple people in your lineup. Now, OKC, San Antonio, this game's about to start here, but I like both of them are both of them are deep. Both of them have deep benches. The bench scoring in a series been ridiculous on any given night from both of them. So it's not going to be no walk in the park, but I definitely like the Knicks' chances of winning. But salute to the Knicks. Salute to all the fans out there on making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. First time since 1999. It was so cool to see Bernard King and Walt Clyde there, Cleveland, and everything else. And I was saying, like, that's the only bad thing about being a Knicks fan. Is like Knicks fans go crazy. They go over the top. The disrespect is like crazy. I'm not one of those, but the streets in New York have been crazy the last couple of weeks. You know, before we had even won the series in Cleveland, they was going crazy at the Garden and all over New York City. Now I was watching something earlier today where Spike was talking about it. Said, listen, if the Knicks win the championship, all he knows is it better be on the road. And I agree 1,000%. Because if the Knicks win a championship this year, or when they win a championship, um, if it's in the Garden, man, only God can help NYPD. It's gonna be like Gotham City in New York. People who will be losing their minds. And I'm actually planning on being up there. I know I'm gonna be up there for game one and possibly game two. So Rock, all my people in Jersey, if I'm up there, I know the first two games will be on the road. I'm almost certain, regardless. Either it'll be in OKC or San Antonio. But I'm trying to go to the Garden and watch one of those games, just in case this is our year while I'm up there. So y'all get at me. I think it'll be cool to go over there to watch the game at the actual Garden. Just so we can say, we went out there that day, whatever. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, we'll be up there for that there, man. I appreciate it. Hey Sam, what time you do your show? Is that 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock on Wednesdays? I believe it's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, y'all check them out. Open Train of Thought podcast. Good conversations. Um, what else was there? 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So y'all definitely go over there and subscribe to his channel. Um, I didn't see any comments, any questions out there. So I'm going to shut it down. Watch this game to determine who we gonna be facing in the finals. But I know that I love you all, man. I appreciate you guys taking out the time to be chill with me. We're talking about strong relationships tomorrow. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to check that out. Um, um, yeah, not just your mental health though, because even though this is Mental Health Awareness Month, don't just take care of your mental health. Let's start taking care of our physical health a little bit better as well. Are the Knicks going to be able to keep from fouling out? Yeah, absolutely. They ain't fouled out yet. We haven't been. Now we do commit a lot of dumb fouls, but ain't nobody really been fouling out games. Um, and we split with San Antonio during the regular season. We both won a game apiece. When we faced them we lost to OKC, but that was something that I was actually hoping for last year. Ooh, excuse me. To see OKC in the finals last year, because I thought that would have been cool for us to be facing Hartenstein in the finals, which is one reason I would like to face OKC, because in my opinion, Hartenstein, he should still be a Knick. We didn't really want him. We didn't want him to go at all. But I'm never mad at somebody for getting any money. I get it. But Hartenstein, he was like a Knick through and through. They haven't played against SGA, SAG, or SGA. He been flopping like crazy, and the refs are calling him. Yeah, absolutely. I was having that conversation earlier this week too, because I really do like SGA. I love his game. I love what he brings to the table. But a lot of his stuff be flops, and I ain't gonna lie. A lot of this, it's kind of a wash, because Jalen do a lot of. I ain't gonna say flopping, but he does some flopping, and a lot of those offensive charges. He leads the league in taking offensive charges. A lot of those be suspect. A lot of them be suspect. So it'll be just interesting to see him and SGA going at if they actually defended one another, or he defended them. How close would it? Because I have noticed that, and like I said, it's been videos circulating. Like, it's ridiculous how bad SGA be flopping at times, and the ref be letting him get away with it. And then it's outside of basketball, just the pure basketball. I'm one of them people that believes in, I just think that the integrity of sports is gone with all this get legalized gambling and what have you. So you got to play that factor in it. If it's written, if it's scripted, how are they gonna play that out? Is OKC at the beginning of this new dynasty, um, or do we want to run the storyline and put San Antonio in there because the last time we were in the finals, the Knicks were in the finals. We played San Antonio without Patrick Ewing. They beat us 4-1 in '99. We didn't have Patrick Ewing, so all these years later, the rematch. Then when you go back to the in season tournament, the Knicks won that, and that's one of them aspects too. I take a championship over anything at this point. Um, but I never want that to be relevant because I think it's the stupidest thing ever. The way they do this in season tournament, and the time that they do it makes no sense whatsoever. I don't even watch those games. I don't care about those games. Even when the Knicks won it, I didn't care about that, but I did see that it was against San Antonio. So I thought that would be another way for them to up the in season tournament to say, you know what, look, well, we got the same two teams that was in the in season tournament in the actual finals. So that we might be on to something. Like they might use that to promote whatever. I don't know. Um, but I do like Castle. I do like Castle from San Antonio. Wimby, I say it from time to time. Like Wimby is here to take over the league. It's just a matter of time before he does. Um, Only person that can stop Wimby right now is Wimby. They did it for LeBron to ensure he could make it to the finals. That's what I'm saying. It's like I get it. When people are like nah, I get it. A lot of this stuff is scripted. And don't be surprised when you see LeBron back in Cleveland next year. Well, to finish the year at home back in Cleveland. Who knows? They'll make sure that he get a chance to get him and Donovan Mitchell. I don't know about James Harden, but I think they'll try to run that back with them too. They're on his last ride, try to get him one more championship. But Cleveland definitely, that was a lackluster season. I was definitely disappointed in Cleveland. I thought they would be better, a much better. Uh, I was actually more worried about Cleveland than I was Detroit, to be honest with you, because they with with both sons, that would be dumb crazy. Uh, yeah, because LeBron, wherever LeBron go, chances are Bronny gonna go there too. I don't see nobody signing Bronny without LeBron. Um, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see how it play out. Um, but yeah, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Again, um, physical health. Let's make sure we staying on point of staying hydrated. Uh, let's worry about what we put into our bodies. One of those things that I always say too. Like I used to always think about white people when I would see white people back in the day. We used to laugh because we see white people 5 o'clock in the morning. No matter how cold it was, they'd be out there. They doing a little morning jog, speed walking, or walking, and it's like, dude, 90 years old. And I said one thing about it. I try to get black people to understand is like we got to stop eating food for taste. Your car doesn't worry about how good the gas is, how good the gas tastes. Food is supposed to be for nourishment and taking care of our bodies, not always tasting good because we can't see it. But if we see what some of this stuff that we put inside our bodies was doing to the inside of our bodies, I guarantee you would cut it out. I know me, even when I stopped eating pork, uh, shoot, I haven't had pork since 1994. But it was like when I stopped eating, it started out as an experiment. Just go 2 weeks. But this cat I know, shout out to Jihad, he had challenged me. Just go 2 weeks without noticing, without eating pork and see if you don't see any difference. I got lunch on me for the next week. I said, bet I'll take that bet. But when it came to hooping and whatnot, it was like I was breathing so much better. I didn't have the acid reflux that I would have after eating certain meals and whatnot. And I really seen the difference in just the way I was breathing, the way I carried myself, the way I felt. I said, you know what? Let's see how long I can keep this up. You know what I mean? And here it is, all these years later. I don't miss it. I don't miss no pepperoni pizza. I don't miss none of that. You know, but we got to do better as far as taking care of our physical bodies, and because we want to be here for our children, want to be here for our grands, we want to be here for one another. So let's keep that in mind too. But I appreciate you all. I do believe we'll be here next Tuesday for the first of the month freestyle. I don't know. Like I said, I'll be traveling soon. Um, How much said Nick fan eat lead paint chips? Dude, I just said to walk. Dude, I'm gonna be up there, so I'm trying to go over to the guard to watch either game 1 or 2. When I'm up there next week, I know that in Jersey, we got the Deliver Jesus coming 50th anniversary. I believe it's the 4th through the 7th that weekend. Come celebrate with us. They'll be having a concert that Friday night. There's a banquet on that Saturday evening, and then we'll be having service that Sunday morning. Um, so if you're able to, please come up there and fellowship with us, celebrate 50 years of ministry. Be good to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a while, quite a while. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But I'm definitely trying to sneak over to the Garden to watch one of those games in the finals. um, like I said, I even if the Knicks were at home while I'm up there, I'm not going over there. No, I don't want to be in New York while the Knicks win in New York. I have to watch it, um, get in and out. But it's just, I think it'll be a good memory to have, especially this year right here, because what they're doing is a run like no other. 11 straight games, first time in, and it's like I said, 2 sweeps this in the playoffs, 11 game winning streak in the playoffs, blowing teams out like crazy. And any team that ever done this previously, they all won the championship. So, knock on wood. Like I say, fellas, congratulations on making it to the finals. But at the end of the day, we need 4 more wins. That's all I care about is 4 more wins. And we're gonna keep the countdown on my page. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, man. You make sure you take care of one another, be there for one another. Um, and as usual, signing off, DeAndre and Lisha, know that Daddy loves you intentionally, but I also love you unconditionally. Till the next time we get together. Peace.